What's up, guys? It's finally time for me to do my first bracketology video of the college basketball season. Thank you guys so much for waiting for this. Gonna try and really ramp up production over the next little bit here. Been focusing on some things. I got a big running race tomorrow on Thanksgiving Day morning, so trying to focus on that. But other than that, let's get straight into this video, guys. We have a bit to talk about in this bracketology. Let's not waste any time. This season is going to be, I think, I feel like every season just gets more crazy because all these upsets have been happening. We have the Maui final today between Marquette and Purdue. We'll talk about a little bit of that here soon, too. So this bracketology was updated yesterday, and look at that. There you go. Top overall seed Kansas, who lost yesterday to Marquette, 73-59. Kansas had no answer in the second half. Marquette was pressuring them the whole time. That was a statement win by Marquette. Kansas is a little funny this year. I think I may have had a little bit too much of expectations for them. They got some things to work on. They don't have a good scoring bench, I'll tell you that. First team out, Texas Tech. They faced Villanova today. That's a big one there. Last team in, Xavier. They're still looking to get back Fremantle, another player for getting on the healthy side. On the bubble, we have last four byes. Northwestern, who just lost to Mississippi State. Providence, BYU, Ohio State. Ohio State plays Alabama on Friday. That's a big one, too. If Ohio State gets that W, they might creep into the top 25, potentially get close to it. Last four in, Indiana had to make a comeback against Louisville. Nevada, Michigan. Michigan faces Memphis. They just lost to Long Beach State. That was a bad loss, very bad loss by Michigan. Xavier, they just dumped one on St. Mary's. First four out, Texas Tech, Iowa, Boise State, Oklahoma. Iowa faces Oklahoma on tomorrow, I believe. Next four out, St. John's. St. John's, it's early in the season. Let's see what they can do later on. They need to really fix that defense. They're still trying to figure it out. St. Mary's, they're not looking good right now. NC State and New Mexico. New Mexico's still without Jalen House. So, in the bracketology, some teams who are kind of moving around. We got some new entries like Bradley, Providence, Xavier. Also, we have UNC Greensboro, who just knocked off Arkansas, I believe. That was a big win. BYU now on the list. We have some movement up, like Colorado, San Diego State, James Madison up to a 12 seed, Auburn's up, Ohio State's up, the Florida Atlantic's down to a 7, for instance. They just took a brutal loss to Bryant. Without further ado, guys, let's get straight into it. Let's not waste any time. Kansas, the 1 seed over the winner of Texas Southern Sacred Heart. I don't care. Kansas will win that game, but going further. Oh, by the way, one thing to mention, I think I don't know if some people knew this or not, but 3 times Kansas has been a preseason number 1 in the rankings, have lost very early in the tournament each time. I think the most recent occurrence was 09-10, the year of 2009-10, when they lost to Northern Iowa in the round of 32. 8 UCLA versus 9 Virginia. Virginia just got bitch slapped by Wisconsin. I like UCLA. They hung really tough against Marquette. UCLA could be scrappy and make a sneaky run this year. We'll see in the tournament. I kind of like what I'm seeing already from Mick Cronin's squad. Defensively, obviously, they're one of the better ones in the country. San Diego State, Bradley. I don't know much about Bradley right now. We'll kind of dig more into them later throughout the season. With San Diego State, I'll trust them here. They just got through a high-scoring affair against Washington. 4 Miami versus 13 Grand Canyon. I like Miami here. Miami's looked good. Their defense, not really that great, but here's the thing. Let's just understand the fact Miami's got one of the best offenses in the country. They're just well coached. Great team. 6 Illinois, 11 Providence. Illinois really hasn't been that bad this year. I know I was kind of roasting them a little bit in my kind of preview video earlier this month, but you know what? Illinois, if they can figure it out, you never know. You never know. They do have some good players in that team. 3 Texas A&M and 14 UNC Wilmington. I like A&M. I especially like their front court as of late. Henry Coleman's been going off. A&M's a stud of a team this year. They should do some damage. And by the way, they have a round 64 rematch against Penn State tomorrow. 7 Florida Atlantic versus the winner of IU and Nevada. At this point, I'm going Florida Atlantic to win. Although again, they gotta find out they gotta be able to figure out how to rebound after that loss to Bryant. I don't know why they lost that game. Do not ask me. Creighton over Wright State. Creighton, extremely dangerous. They shoot the 3 very well. Dare I say they're the best 3-point shooting team in the country. 1 Kansas 8 UCLA. I'm actually tempted to pick the upset here. I am, because UCLA is going to pressure Kansas interior, especially. Dickinson was flopping. I'm so sick of Kansas. I don't like them, honestly. I never have liked Kansas, but you know what? I'll take them to win barely there, but I could definitely see Kansas losing. Um, the way that Marquette was mixing up the floor was crucial in their win, especially with the fast break. Excuse me, sorry. San Diego State, Miami. I like Miami, no question. 6 Illinois, 3 Texas A&M. I'm gonna have to take A&M. I like their roster better as of right now. But again, we'll see how Illinois develops over the course of the year. Creighton versus Florida Atlantic. This could be a trap. This could be a trap for Creighton, but I like Creighton in the spot here. Kansas versus Miami. This is an Elite Eight rematch from last year. I'm taking Miami in an upset. At this point, I've been thinking to myself, Kansas is either going out early or they're going to make it to like the Elite Eight and lose. That's what they do usually, and we'll see. Texas A&M Creighton. I like Creighton. This is a tough one though. You can argue A&M just as easily because here's the thing: A&M has a very tough interior, especially of Coleman and in the guard play. But can they outshoot Creighton? That's the question. It's going to be hard to do that. Creighton, they hit all their shots. They likely win the game. Speaking of this matchup, I think the same thing goes for here, except the question now is going to flip. Creighton, can they defend Miami? Because Miami's hard to defend. They have a lot of speed and agility, but you know what? I like Creighton to the Final Four. I love this Creighton team, and yeah, no one's deterring me from that. A couple years ago, I kind of had a bit of diversified opinions and stuff that kind of led me to make some terrible picks in the 21 tournament. I'm not letting that happen ever again. Arizona over McNeese State. Arizona is kind of overrated. I'm just going to say it. They are. They need to prove to me something this year. They need to. They could go 31-3 again. I don't really give a damn. At this point, you know, what are you going to do in the tournament? Because now you have Caleb Love. Can he be consistent through the year? We'll see. TCU 9 Clemson. I'm going TCU. I'm not a big fan of Clemson right now. I want to see what Clemson can do, but I think they're getting a little bit too much. Some people I think are hyping them a little too much. I don't know. I don't know, because they were ranked towards the top of the ACC preseason poll, and I'm like, I don't know. Kentucky, Yale. Kentucky has a scare there recently. This is a tough one, man. Yale. We're gonna assume Kentucky has their 7-footers because if they can get those guys in the mix, I like Kentucky here. Yale's dangerous. Don't push them over. Actually, Yale, Princeton, and Penn are all serious contenders in the Ivy League this year. Michigan State and Greensboro. I'm going Michigan State. I know their offense is a bit sputtery. I get it. But I think Izzo is going to find a way to figure it out. I never like counting him out. I don't like Michigan. I'm not a Michigan State fan, but I do respect what Tom Izzo's done in the past. 6 Colorado, 11 Dayton. Colorado just dropped the game to Florida State. That made no sense to me whatsoever. I'm telling you, a lot of these games have made no sense lately, but I still like Colorado. I don't really give a damn. 3 Gonzaga versus 14 Weber State. Weber State, I think, just upset St. Mary's 2 recently. Gonzaga, tough battle against Purdue, and then they face UCLA tonight. That's crazy for the 4th straight year. Those two have quite the rivalry. Gonzaga, I'm a little worried about Gonzaga this year. I want to see them kind of progress through this season. I'm not really sure if I'm taking them very far. Might be a spoiler for the next round. Villanova and Northwestern. Villanova's looked a little bit off, man. And Northwestern's a good defensive team. Can they score enough? We're going to take an upset here. Just screw it. And then Houston. I love this Houston team. LJ Cryer is on a freaking roll right now. Like, he's shooting well. That's a great sight for things to come. And then the defensive grit of Houston, man, that's going to be spicy for the Big 12. Houston's going to make some. I cannot wait, seriously. Arizona, TCU. I'm going to Arizona. It's not the same match. TCU ain't the same from last year. Kentucky, Michigan State. This is a tricky game because you don't know what you're going to get here. Because Kentucky, again, we don't know what they're going to look like when they have the 7-footers play. Michigan State. I'm going to take Michigan State because of defense. That's a really silly, I won't say it's a silly reason, but that's probably not. Some of you probably have a question mark over your head right now about that. I don't know. It's whatever. Gonzaga and Colorado. I'm going to take a chance at Colorado. It's early. I don't care. I mean, Gonzaga, I know they could have beat Purdue. But it's like at this point, I don't know, man. It's hard to go against Gonzaga, man. I love Gonzaga. I really, really do. I've been a big fan of them for years. But some things are going to happen in the tournament you don't quite expect. And Gonzaga has not been eliminated early in the tournament in many years. So it can happen. And Colorado could match them, honestly. It's possible. Northwestern and Houston. Houston is going to shut them out, or shut them down, basically. Arizona, Michigan State. We are getting this exact same game tomorrow. I like Arizona right now, personally, because I feel like Arizona is just going to really dice up that Michigan State defense. Michigan State probably will slow it down for a bit, but I think Arizona is going to find a way to pull away. Michigan State's got to be able to outshoot Arizona, slow them down. I don't think they're going to be able to do both because Michigan State, again, right now, they're kind of in an offensive sputter early in the season, kind of in a way at times. Colorado, Houston. It might be tricky, but I like Houston, and I definitely like Houston over Arizona. See, Houston and Arizona played a year and a half ago in the tournament, and Houston dominated, so I don't see what I don't really see, I don't know, we'll see. I just like Houston right now over Arizona. I still, like I said, I'm not really big on Arizona right now. I'm just not. I mean, they beat Duke on the road. Good for them. I mean, it's early this season. I mean, we'll see. It's not biased because I'm a fan of Houston either, Houston basketball. It's because they have proven to be efficient and necessary mainly. Purdue in the top right region. Purdue plays Marquette in the Maui final. Purdue, yeah, Purdue. I don't really know if I can get behind them this year, man. I just don't really care for them anymore. I really don't. I'm honestly tired of them. Oregon and Iowa State. I'm going to go Iowa State. I want to see more from Oregon. Oregon's got a good offense, it looks like. Iowa State still has that fierce defense, and Ken Palmer ranked 4th in defensive efficiency right now, so I'm going to take defense over offense in that game. 5 USC, 12 James Madison. This could be a 12-5. I'm not picking it because I think USC, and here's the thing, USC lost to UC Irvine, but they were not healthy. Again, it's early. I said that how many times already, but still, remember, we're not later in the year yet. 4 Alabama, 13 Akron. I mean, Alabama, I'm not really on them this year. I don't know why. I don't know. Like, they have a fast-paced offense still and stuff. They can still score a bunch, but, I mean, we'll see what they could do against a stiffer competition because they lost some major pieces from last year. Auburn versus the winner of Michigan and Xavier. I'm going Auburn. That's a tough one. I think Auburn could probably take over down low, especially with Janai Broom. Michigan's kind of an up and down team. Xavier's not fully healthy. I don't know. I'm just gonna stick with Auburn. They also have Aiden Holloway as well. I think Auburn can definitely mix it up and win that game. Baylor and Colgate. Baylor's kind of impressing me right now early in the season. They got a good bench from what I hear. Yves Missy's been playing well too. Baylor's big. We'll see though. Baylor's front court, can it get better? Sure it can. We'll see. Chatchwell, I haven't heard much about him as of late, so I want to see. Let's see what they can do. Arkansas, Ohio State. This is a tough one. I'm going Arkansas right now. Marquette and Eastern Kentucky. I love what I saw from Marquette, and I really, really want to get behind this team. It's just Shaka. I've said before, if you watch my videos long enough, you know Shaka Smart. Is he gonna finally get to the second weekend in March? This is his best team, I think, in years. I'm not even kidding. Like, this Marquette team might be better than last year's. It could very well be, honestly. I mean, they played so damn good last night. It was that impressive. Purdue, Iowa State. I'm gonna go Purdue. I can see Iowa State beating Purdue. Yeah, I can, because their press defense. But then again, though, here's the thing. You got to worry about Zach Edey, and Iowa State may not be able to guard Zach Edey. So that kind of, yeah, you see where we're going. You see where I'm going with that. I like USC over Alabama. Auburn, Baylor, we just had this matched up. I like Baylor in that one. Marquette in Arkansas. I'm going Marquette right now. Marquette's just been... I like what Marquette's doing, man. Their defense, by the way, too. That was the best defense I've seen them play in a while. Arkansas's got the talent. But right now, Marquette seems to be more focused. They have a more solid drive right now. Purdue and USC. Yeah, I don't trust Purdue, man. I don't really care. I mean, hell, at this point, it would really just drive me nuts. Like I said, if Purdue were to somehow just win it all this season, that would just be the most. For like I said, Virginia did that. I don't know. I like Marquette over Baylor, and I like Marquette over USC to the Final Four. I have all two seeds in the Final Four. That will change. I'm telling you right now. Tennessee and Iona. Tennessee kind of struggled last night against Purdue. They were playing well in the first half, and then they kind of really let it go in the second half. I know the foul trouble was a bit of a problem, but the refs were calling it both ways. But there were way too many fouls in that game. Just let them play. I mean, it's ridiculous. Wisconsin, Kansas State. I'm going Wisconsin. North Carolina, Liberty. Let's take an upset here. North Carolina is kind of shady. I don't know. I want to see. I want to see what they do this year, and I might change my mind. 4 Texas, 13 UC Irvine. I like Texas. I think they lost to UConn. UConn's not even 100% either, but like I don't know, man. Like I'll get to this in a second, but Texas isn't fully healthy either. I think some people are forgetting that too. Texas doesn't have Dylan DeSue. Caden Shedrick, I think, didn't play. So I don't know why people like to focus on the. I don't get it, man. Some people just their focus just isn't big enough. Mississippi State and BYU. Um, Mississippi State hasn't really played. I mean, they beat Northwestern. I don't think I've taken an 11 seed yet. Let's do that here just to mix it up. I mean, Mississippi State could win, but I want to see more from them. They don't shoot the three well at the moment. Duke, Vermont. I like Duke here. Duke. The thing with Duke, they just got to be more physical. They got to be more aggressive overall. They have to have a more aggressive nature when they play, and then I think they can run the table a bit. They got the playmakers: Tyrese Proctor, Jeremy Roach, Kyle Filipowski, the whole 9 yards. Blah blah blah. 7 Memphis versus 10 Florida. This is an interesting one. Florida's got some. Florida's got some good guys on their team, but I'm gonna go Memphis. That's a tough one. UConn over UNC Asheville. UConn's got a really great team. But here's my thing, okay? I hate taking defending national champions far next year. They don't ever really go far next year. But this year could be an exception. This year could be an exception. UConn's still a really good team. Tennessee, Wisconsin. Tennessee already beat Wisconsin. They'll do it again, trust me. Tennessee, if Dalton Knecht can play better, he didn't. Apparently, I don't think he even scored much last night at all, if any at all. Tennessee just needs to be better with the flow of their offense. I mean, they were able to get some takeaways. It's just Tennessee just needs to be a little more focused on offense. That's all they need to do. I think they can do it. This could be the year they finally do it. Texas and Liberty, I like Texas. Texas is just I think Texas when they're fully healthy, they're going to be dangerous. Duke and BYU, give me Duke. Not too many upsets yet, man. UConn, Memphis. I'm gonna have to take UConn because I don't know if Memphis can defend like down low good enough. I'm not sure if they're gonna be able to kind of. They got a solid team. Don't get me wrong, but we'll see. I don't know. Tennessee and Texas. Hmm. This is tricky. I'm gonna go Texas for now. I know. Who cares? Duke and UConn. I think I'm gonna take Duke. I don't know, man. Duke. I don't know. That's a tough one, man. Duke UConn's a coin flip at this point. Um, we'll see. It's a coin flip. The question is again, Duke. Can they get more aggressive? Can they get more physical? I think they have guys who could take over. Duke and Texas, man, I like Texas, man. I don't know why, but I really like this Texas team. To me, is damn good. Creighton and Houston in the Final Four. Matchup, in my opinion, says Houston because the thing is, Creighton's defense is going to have a hard time, first off, with the rebounding in could get kind of dicey. But Kalkbrenner is dominant, usually. and Carpenter would probably win down low. But now you gotta ask yourself, Houston's got a very smart and efficient defense. So they're gonna slow down. I'm going Creighton. I just like this team, man. Marquette in Texas. Oh my God, could you imagine if they face in the tournament next year? This is tough, man. I can't believe I'm doing this. I cannot believe I'm actually doing this right now. I'm going Marquette, man. I can't believe I'm doing that. I did not expect Marquette to be my national championship, but give me Creighton to win it. That's just kind of my thing right now. We'll see. This tournament this year, kind of wide open. I don't really see a big time favorite at the moment, but Creighton, I think, is one of them. Marquette's one of them as well, so we'll see. Thank you guys for tuning in. I will see you guys in the next one. You all take care.